aspects on the financial crisis. It's October 11, and let's talk about money. Let's talk about what money is. Because money is not real. Money is a social construct. Money is, as it says right on your money, take out the dollar bill, and it says it's legal tender. And that is what money is today. It's legal tender. It is a construct. It is not something real. You cannot hold on to something underlying that's being represented by money. Money is just paper. It is a legal construct. It is legal tender. And that also means that money can be created out of nothing. And the government is creating money out of nothing. The government has full control of money, what it is, how much there is out of it, how it's pumped around in the economy, where it pops up and where it escapes. And people don't seem to realize this. People seem to think that money is some kind of fixed amount of money somehow out there. And the reason why they think that is not so weird, because it used to be that way. It used to be that money was gold, and when we were on the gold standard, there was a fixed amount of gold, and there was an amount of paper money that usually reflected the amount of gold, and there was a relationship between the gold and the money that was fixed, and it was possible to have more money even then, but it was very restricted how much credit could be produced out of a fixed amount of gold. Because if you printed too much money, you would have a bank run and people would demand their gold. So the money supply was fixed. It wasn't possible to raise the money supply by making decisions in a bank or a federal government or anywhere. It was fixed. And this was the reality of our grandparents and our great-grandparents. For them, it was obvious that this was the way it was. And this tradition or this mindset has been handed down to us through the generations, and we still haven't totally realized that it's not that way anymore. Money is just fiat money. It's just money that's printed out of thin air. So just in the same way, we have expressions like "good as gold" and "is golden," and we have all. If you look up online about expressions about gold, you will see a lot of expressions about gold that really reflect this mindset that was about gold in the old days that our grandparents had, where gold was the real asset, where gold was money. And this mindset is still with us. We still think of money as a fixed quantity out in the economy, even though it's not. And the government is using that against us because they're printing more money, and we're going to work and we're doing all kinds of stuff to make this money that's actually not money. It's just fiat money. It's just paper, and the whole economy goes around and around like that. It's a huge rat race, you know. And we have to remember that the government needs the rat race to go on. They need people to get up in the morning and go to work and work till they drop from a heart attack or whatever, because that's what pays taxes, that's what pays their salaries, that's what keeps the war machine going. And the government is really, it's everywhere, and their control of money is really what enables them to control everything in the economy, all the rest of it. So the first thing to realize is that money is not real. Money is just paper. It's a legal construct. It's a legal tender. It's not what it used to be. And once you realize that the government is manipulating money in all kinds of ways. And this manipulation of money is reflected in every aspect of society as we know it. And the more you look into this, the more you realize that everything around you, everything that's going on, what's being produced in the economy, how savings are made, how the financial markets work, even how the political system works, and incentives, and how people are building up entitlements for money in the future. All that is manipulated by the fact that the money in the economy is controlled by the government. It's an absolute government construct. So when you realize that, you also realize that what's been causing this financial crisis is the government's failure to control the money supply in the economy. Because they've been pumping up the economy with lots of this fiat money, and it truly is new money out of nowhere. And people have thought, hey, I'm rich. Everyone who held on to real estate thought that they were rich, because they were basing their thoughts about the value of the money they had in the old, how money was used to be, and what money used to be worth. So by this total manipulation, by making new money that has or resembles the old money, people think they're rich. And the more richer people get, the more confident they get, and they start buying more and more and more, and they think, hey, my house went up from $200,000 to $500,000 in value, so I'm rich. I made $300,000. The funny thing was that nobody seemed to reflect, did I deserve making $300,000? How did this happen? When we're falling back, all of a sudden people are screaming and shouting, and this isn't fair, and all that. But was it fair to make $300,000 in the first place? But the thing was that when people believe they're rich like that, they build up confidence. They buy new cars, they buy flat TVs, they consume like there's no tomorrow, distorting really how they should think. They should think long term in a very different manner, and they're not richer. They still have the house they had. It's not. I mean, that house was there 10 years ago. It's there now. It was there 2 years ago, and it'll be there 10 years from now. In a lot of cases, this is true. It's the same house. So it's an illusion. The money is an illusion. It's a mirage. It's a game of smoke and mirrors, and it's not. Money is not solid and fixed and something people own the way they think they do. Money is a social construct. It is something that's can be produced a lot of out of thin air. It can also be reduced out of thin air, like we're seeing now in the implosion of the credit markets. So don't think about money as something real. It's not.